Huda, Huda, thunk it. Huda, thunk it. That's our new theme song.
Yeah, okay. I know, I was like, what's going on? Theme song? Okay.
Theme song. All right.
Oh my gosh.
So Aubrey, tell us how you've been lately.
I've been good. I was in the ER on Saturday during this whole pandemic, y'all. Don't go to the ER. That's the worst place you can go.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But how have you been?
I've been good. Just been chilling. I didn't go to the ER yet.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, I've just been chilling here. I've been watching movies and TV shows. And there's this one show that I watched recently. It's called Extras with Ricky Gervais. I don't know if you've heard about it, but I highly recommend you watch it. It's like a British comedy, and it's only like 14 episodes, like 2 seasons, but I recommend you watch it.
Okay. Well, if I recall, I feel like I actually recommended you to watch this last week after this. So, yeah, I've kind of already seen all of it. So, I guess we can talk about it now that you've watched what I said was an awesome show.
Okay, fine. Full disclosure, I might be a pathological liar. I'm kidding, no. No, but yeah. Okay, so Aubrey, you recommended I watch Extras, and
Yes.
I did because I couldn't find the UK Office on Netflix, which I've been wanting to watch recently.
Boo! I'm bummed about that, Netflix. Come on, man.
I know, right? Like they should have it.
Right? I'm watching the US Office, and I'm like, nah, it's not the real thing.
Don't
No.
do that. The US Office is good, but that's not what we're talking about today.
True.
Today we're going to talk about British humor.
It seems funnier. I don't know if it's just us Americans that think that, but it just seems like they're more like blunt, or they're very like, they don't hold back. And I feel like in America, we have to hold back because of the freaking MPAA ratings.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like movies have to fit in like the certain standard, and that requires like, you can't use foul language or whatever, which is okay, whatever, reasonable, I guess, for kids. But I mean, there's some funny like, jokes that are just kind of like fly over kids' heads that sometimes it's great to put in shows like they kind of do in Extras. They put a lot of like social and racial issues in there. Yeah, it's kind of like very awkward, and that's what I like about it. It's very awkward, and it's like, when you should just shut up sometimes and like stop speaking. It's like, what if you don't stop speaking? How will you make this worse?
Well, the thing is, see, what I've noticed is that America has this like constant idea of like the American dream in movie and like shows and movies and stuff. And even in comedies, they always have their character. They always need like to have the main character succeed in some way, in most things at least,
True.
And I think that's what I like about the UK comedies, because it's like they stay more true to real life, and that's why they make it more awkward and stuff, because they don't focus so much on having the character like succeed by the end of it. It kind of like it's basically these like random events, they just keep on happening, and they kind of just fall apart, but like in an awkward funny way, instead of it just being kind of like, oh yeah, no, the character should like get what he wanted to throughout the episode or whatever.
True.
Have you heard of Afterlife?
Yeah, I have. I haven't watched it yet though.
It has it's with Ricky Gervais too.
Right. Nice.
Mm-hmm. I definitely recommend that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Dude,
I do, and this time I'm actually recommending it.
What's it like really about? Like the afterlife, like after death?
No. So it's about this guy, Ricky Gervais, and his wife has recently died.
Mm-hmm. And
the show is basically him being depressed and wanting to kill himself.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dark.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But it sounds really dark and depressing, but it's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, it has Ricky Gervais in it, so.
Yeah, I love his humor. Again, it's so like, it's so dark, but he somehow it's so dark and awkward at some like at times, but he always manages to kind of like make it funny and like like it doesn't make you cringe or doesn't make you like cry or anything. It's always just like it keeps you laughing, keeps you like
Yeah.
I love it, man.
In a way, it makes me feel slightly uncomfortable, but I'm like glued to the TV.
Exactly, you can't get away from it.
Right. Oh my gosh.
All right, speaking of things you can't get away from,
Oh God.
Marvel movies.
Yeah. They're like a big shadow that just always stalks you.
The MCU is actually what really got me into superheroes. Actually, no, that's not true. It's what really got me into Marvel, but
That's a whole nother conversation.
that's a whole other conversation. I can spend a whole hour talking about it. So sit back and relax, because I'm going to tell you why I love Spider-Man. What would you say? What would you say are your top three like favorite Marvel movies?
Yes, my top three. Number one is Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. I feel like I like it because they start to like, you start to really see the divide, and then that's like when you start to see like the fighting, like physical like fighting, and I was like, oh my God, like they really are on like opposing ends. Great movie. I don't know.
Okay.
And then my second one's the first Avengers, because I didn't expect anything from it. I knew nothing going into it, and it was actually pretty awesome. And then my
The
third
first
one is
Avengers, like the first team up movie, right?
right.
Okay.
Yeah, love it. And then the third one has to be Doctor Strange, because the editing is awesome.
Nice. We're gonna talk a little about these in a bit.
Plus, I'm a Cumber bitch, so like Benedict Cumberbatch is like my man.
Oh, I think like Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange is one of the best like I think he's one of the best actors in the MCU. Like I mean they have a lot of good actors, but his acting as Doctor Strange at times is one of the best like in all of the MCU.
Wow.
Because there's that one scene where him and I don't remember Rachel McAdams' character,
Yeah.
and they're having this argument and stuff. She says something like, "There are other things that give your life meaning," because you know how his hands are messed up. And then
Right.
and then he's all like, "What, like you?" And then she like stops talking, and then he kicks her out, kind of. And I was like, well, okay, wow, this is
Yeah.
like, I wasn't expecting that performance for an
Right.
MCU movie.
Yeah, I feel like with Benedict's performance and like the characters he typically plays, I'm just like he seems like he's always like someone who's missing an important piece of like life, or like just something in particular like he's missing in his life, and he thinks that his life is complete, but like he doesn't realize until he like gets the thing he needs. Like in Sherlock, he needed a friend. That was it. It's kind of like Robert Daly, where he's just like, oh yeah, like I only care about myself, but then like you start to see him like the way he like acts like with his kid in Endgame,
Mm-hmm.
like oh, like he has a heart.
Like he had a whole like character development thing. No, I get it.
Yeah, I like
Mhm.
him as Iron Man. I really do. I think
Yeah,
it.
of
I think it's
course.
perfect. Yeah, but what are your top three?
Oh, mine. Okay, mine are definitely Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, and Age of Ultron. No, I'm kidding.
Good.
You're like, okay, disconnect.
When you said Captain Marvel, I was like,
I mean, I'm not really that big a fan of Captain Marvel, but I do enjoy Age of Ultron. I do think it's a good movie, and you know why I think people don't like it is because,
hmm,
okay, here's why I liked it. Okay, it's because going in, I was basically expecting the first Avengers movie, but more bigger, I guess, with more
it's
like
true.
budget, more it's more more of a boom, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, but I think what happened was is that everyone else was expecting something different, you know, and the movie
Yeah.
was basically another superhero team up movie like the first Avengers, and that's why a lot of people were disappointed.
I
Go
was
on.
like a firm, diehard super fan of Hulk and Black Widow. And
Okay.
the way he left her, man, like, I
He had no choice. Okay, come on. That was like the Hulk's thing was one of the best things that happened in Age of Ultron. How he was just like he gave up on everything, like his life on Earth, and he was like, I'm done
no,
here.
no, man, it was so like, it was so like sad. Like Black Widow, like she was so close with him. Like she was like, she like tames him down, like with the whole like rubbing his arm or whatever, and like doing the thing. I don't know. Like I was all like, oh, like they're really like close, and like she wanted to leave with him, and he was like, deuces, I'm leaving without you. I was like, what a
Yeah, but it
douche.
was like emotional and stuff. That was the point.
I know, that's why I didn't like.
Like I didn't want to cry at an
Okay,
Avengers movie.
yeah, true. I was just upset. Okay, and then I also was really upset because I hated Scarlet Witch. I hated her. I was just like, she's a villain, whatever. But she wasn't even like a good like villain. I didn't like her powers. I thought it was just a little like cliche kind of. And then
Okay.
I really loved Quicksilver. And then when I got her instead of Quicksilver, I was like, dude, this movie is the worst.
Okay. But other than that, even in Age of Ultron, like in the comic books, it was such a huge event. But like in the movies, they kind of just made it into like okay, fine. Civil War is different because it had impacts. Like it impacted other things or like the future of the like characters and like how they interacted afterwards. And like Captain America was uh, an enemy of the state now or something, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But Age of Ultron, like it barely had any like long-lasting impacts. Like maybe a few things, but not really. And
True.
that's why I didn't. That's my one problem with it because that whole thing was just kind of summarized into like 3 days, and then that wasn't even that impactful, I guess. But my actual top three are
Yes.
Endgame, Iron Man, and Winter Soldier.
Nice,
I
nice.
almost forgot the last one.
It's okay. I wrote mine down. I was like looking at it. I was like, these are my three. Yeah, so what makes you like love I mean like Endgame is like the end. But like explain to me, because I know you've done it a few times, man, but you're like,
Okay,
it's
okay.
the end of the whole thing and
Endgame.
that's why I love it.
Okay, first of all, one of my biggest one of my biggest like things about movies and shows and everything, is the ending because it's the hardest thing to perfect,
Right.
and I think Endgame, the movie, summarized the whole like saga perfectly. Like they had Iron Man's death, spoiler alert. They had Iron Man's death, and by the way, I think that's one of the best cinematic deaths like ever. Not like death scenes, but like how like him dying and stuff, and like the lead up to it and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
it's up there.
Yeah, like his character. Well, I said one of the okay,
Okay.
but no, but that's not it. The thing I love about Endgame is that it was such like first of all, it's a one of a kind movie, kind of as an event, because it's like it's like a culmination of like 20 other movies, you know, and it's like like the ending to like a whole 11-year like cinematic universe, and it's never been done before, not like that, at least not to that
Right.
like huge extent. And the thing is, Endgame, like if you watched it in theaters, I don't know, I think you did, like when it first came out, right? Was
Yes.
it not your best cinematic experience?
No.
No, because when I watched it, because like the scenes, like that one scene where like Captain America got like the hammer and stuff.
That was epic. Yeah.
Everyone in the theater, everyone's like
Yeah.
cheering, everyone's like, "Whoa," like, yeah, and that was basically going on throughout like the whole ending of the movie, and everyone's like coming out of the movie, you're just like, "Whoa, bro!" Like, damn, dude, that was rad. That was radiculous, bro.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's like my second favorite, but my first is Force Awakens. This is my first Star Wars movie in theaters. I'm like, dude, when that opening crawl came up, I was like, I made it, mama.
See? Oh, okay. That's another thing. Okay, so I get that. For me, Endgame was like that, but the opposite. Because I watched most of the Marvel movies in theaters,
Right.
and it's like I kind of grew up to it, like grew up with it.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching the last one, and it's like, and that's another reason I think Iron Man's death was like really sad, because like a lot of people like like our generation stuff, they grew up with like the MCU and Iron Man and stuff, because Iron Man was like the first character in the movies, and
Right.
yeah, that's why I think his death was like super like sad, because it's like everyone like grew up with it, and everyone's like, okay, goodbye, Dad. I mean, Iron Man.
Yeah, that makes sense. You actually make a lot of sense because, like, when you were saying all that, I was like, oh, yeah, with Endgame, it seemed like very, like, strong, like, emotionally. But, like, when
Mhm.
Rise of Skywalker came out, like, it was kind of like, eh. And, like, for me, it was strong emotionally because I grew up with it. And I was like, I remember with Force Awakens, I was like, okay, I'm a freshman in high school. I'll be a freshman in college when I watch the last, like, Star Wars movie. So I
Yeah.
was like, here I am. But, like, everyone else, it was, like, a typical trilogy for Star Wars. And they were like, oh, like, okay, that happened. I would probably redo this. And I was like, this is my life. Like,
Exactly, but with Endgame, everyone was on the same wavelength.
right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
That sucked. Rise of Skywalker was good. I think
I
people hate
liked it.
on it. I
I
really like it.
I liked it. It was okay.
Oh my gosh, man.
No, I enjoyed it, but the thing is, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I think if the thing is, okay, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, and I think Rise of Skywalker would be my. Actually, it's the only Star Wars movie I've watched in theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow, I'm shocked. Like, I mean, I've seen this whole trilogy. Like, literally, when Force Awakens came out, I went opening night, and like ever since then, I went opening night to every Star Wars movie that's come out except for Solo, because I worked at the movie theater then, and I had to work that night. But even then, like, Solo totally bombed in the first theater opening, so it didn't matter.
For me, it's like, okay, so um, I watched the Star Wars movies as a kid, right?
Hmm.
But I barely remembered anything about them. They were just like movies I watched as a kid. And
Yeah.
then The Force Awakens was gonna come out. So I was like, okay, like I'll watch the older movies, catch up, and then I'll watch The Force Awakens with my friends in theaters or whatever, yeah.
Right.
So so I watched all the older movies. And no offense to you or Star Wars fans, I feel like I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but
Okay.
like, I fell asleep to all the movies. Like
It happens.
no movie kept me. I don't know if I was just really tired that month or what, but like I just kept zoning out. Like I couldn't like enjoy. I didn't enjoy the movies as like as like I thought I
Wow.
would, and because of that, I ended up not watching it in theaters. I think none of my friends did. I don't remember what happened, but like I remember I didn't watch it, and then the Force Awakens came out on like DVD, and then I watched that, and I fell asleep again. But then okay, because of that, I kind of just gave up on Star Wars, and I was like, never mind. So I didn't even watch the Last Jedi. And I remember that time, all my friends were like, Mac, just come watch it with us. Like you have to. The Last Jedi is gonna be the best Star Wars movie. You're gonna love it. It's the best thing ever. I'm just like, guys, I don't think it's gonna be that good. Who to thunk it? I to thunk it, Aubrey. I
Was
knew
it
it was gonna
good?
be bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
and
Some
I
people are like, it's great.
and I predicted it.
Yeah.
No, but so yeah, and then everyone. I remember that night I didn't watch it, and I was just chilling at home, and I got all these texts on my like friends group chat, and everyone's like, "Mac, you were right. God damn it! Like we shouldn't have watched. We should have just stayed home with Mac."
Right.
But then I
Dude,
watched Rise of Skywalker last year, and it was enjoyable.
yeah. I feel like with The Last Jedi, I walked out of that theater and I was so disappointed. I was just like, I expected so much and I got nothing.
Oh my god.
But Rise of Skywalker, I felt is like really good because they like, I feel like it's the most like, I don't know. It was like the most like energetic Star Wars movie. Like I was never bored. Like, okay, like I'm a Star Wars fan, but come on, Dagobah with Yoda and Luke. that part, that it's so long and it makes me fall asleep. But like I get it, like as a film major, why it's important, but I'm just like,
Mhm.
as a viewer, I'm like, Return of the Jedi, like I feel like when they get on Endor, it's kind of boring, and like I don't know, it just feels so slow in like certain areas. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like when Luke's like going back and forth on Tatooine in the first one, he's also like, oh, like I need to go back home, and it's like we're still on Tatooine, man. Like I don't really care. Like make a decision, and he took
Oh
like
my God.
20 minutes of the whole movie to do it. I'm just like, come on, man.
There's one thing I loved about Rise of Skywalker,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the whole it was when Rey becomes a Jedi, and there are all these like voices and stuff, and
Yeah,
everyone's like, I don't remember what they were saying. They were like, "You're a Jedi now," or something like that, right?
they're just like, because she was like, be with me, and they're like, oh God, what did I say? I want to say use the force. No, that's not it. They're
Use the
like,
Force.
like let us guide you, Ray, or
Something
stuff
like
like
that,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that, and I loved it, and I also love the fact that it actually got all, and they had like everyone too. Like it wasn't just like people from the movies. They had like even like exactly Ahsoka, and
She's my
I
girl,
was like, okay, that's cool. Like you actually,
dude. Okay,
so
and then we're gonna take a gigantic leap into our final form of discussion. We really went like all over with Star Wars, man.
I know.
It's not my fault at all. What is your favorite movie theater popcorn?
Popcorn.
Popcorn? I meant snack. You can
Well,
tell I want some popcorn, man.
no, that's my answer because I was confused for a second. Popcorn's my answer because I was like, what
Popcorn's
would I
yours?
like to? No, okay, wait. Before I say this, I need to say my favorite snack to like at the movie theaters is snacks that I can sneak in
Okay. Okay.
because I think because you know how like I like sneaking a snack in and then they're like, oh, well, would you like any snacks, sir? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And turns out I am fine because I could have a bag of like Sour Patch in my pants, like, in my pockets. But then, and I think I enjoyed more because the whole aspect of like breaking a little rule is like I think it adds a little flavor to the candy.
Oh my gosh, man. Just know you are the reason why theaters are slowly going out of business.
I
Because
think the reason theaters are going out of business is because of the quarantine. Just saying.
I mean that's one thing. But like, okay, but like legit, like movie theaters, they only make their money off of concessions. So that's
Who'd have
something
thunk
everyone.
it?
I used to work I used to work at the movie theaters, and like the first thing they said, they were like, oh yeah, the only thing that we can like make money off of is concessions, because box office goes straight to like the studios. um and then like and then you got people who need to clean up, but I mean like you got to pay for those people. But how do you pay for those people? Oh yeah, concessions. That's why the prices are ridiculous,
Okay,
because you
you don't
got to.
need to make me feel bad. Okay.
Okay, well they got to pay for rent, and they
Oh
got to
my
pay
God.
for your
I
food.
do get popcorn, okay? I'll have I make sure to get popcorn every time, no matter how many snacks I sneak in. So, you know what?
Okay.
I did my duty.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But yeah, my favorite snack is just a simple plain old icy. Green apple icy. That was in movie theaters for a minute, at least at my theater here in Ohio, and legit. That was my favorite icy I've ever had in my life. If someone could get me the green apple icy flavor, I would literally die. I would probably give you like $100 for that. Just like one icy. Like it is like gold. But
I
yeah, but
swear. I
there
don't
are
think I've ever
also.
had an icy.
What?
I don't think I've ever had it. What is an icy? Hold on.
Okay,
Is
it's
it like
literally.
slushy?
Yeah, it's a slushy. That's an icy.
Okay. I've
I
had
call it an
slushies.
icy. Okay, good.
Yes. Okay. No, green apple. I love that. Never mind. I've
Yeah.
had this.
Good. I love that flavor, man. Yeah.
No, I love green apple ices. I mean
Oh my
slushies
god,
or
that's
ices.
amazing.
I don't know.
Who would have thunk it?
Would've
Icy
thunk it.
or slushy?
She said it.
Oh my god. Are you gonna say that every time we say that? Who would have thunk
Yeah, it's like that. You know that meme where it's like, or something like
it?
that.
Yeah. I love how I could tell what meme you meant, but you just we need to go watch a movie. Oh wait, the
Oh
movie theater
wait,
is
we
closed.
can't.
Ugh. That was me losing my life. Yeah,
Well, that
here
was
we are.
today's episode. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, we went crazy on that episode.
Stay frosty, fellas, and toodaloo.
Yeah, be frosty like an icy or a slushy.